fine light beings. Hi, gods and goddesses. Welcome to the channel Yoniverse. It's me, Juju. Chosen ones, we all have to go through our shadow work. Shadow work is the practice of working through and learning to forgive your shadow self. It is a very important part of our spiritual journey, practicing your shadow work. You have to go through it. If you don't go through it, you're gonna have a lot of stagnation. You're not gonna grow. You're gonna stay like stuck in a certain mentality, and you're not gonna have the power, let's say it like that. You're not gonna have the strength to proceed so that you can grow and go further into your spiritual journey, because your spiritual journey is all about growth. It's all about becoming a better you and being in tune with your higher self. So the side of the ego doesn't want to identify with your shadow side most of the times. It's a side of you that tend to hide from others. You don't want to show your shadow side to not even sometimes your best friends, or sometimes not even your parents. So it's the side of you that tend to hide from others and keep out of sight, hence the name. This should be the first step when you want to go on your spiritual journey. This should be the first step, I would say, because throughout all your spiritual journey, your experience, you're gonna be busy with shadow work. It's like a never-ending story. Yeah, just like life is like happening to us, and we are spiritual beings having a human experience does not end. It keeps on coming. So every new experience that can give you like a traumatic experience is something that you need to work on, and that most of the times will be the shadow work that you then need to work on. So it is very important that we work on our shadow work. The traits that make up our shadow side can be positive or negative. So it's not only negative. For example, low self-esteem, anxiety, being extrovert, impulsive, and fantasizing can also be part of your shadow side. So they are not necessarily negative. Yeah? They are not necessarily negative traits. Some of us are taught as children, and there most of the times there is where our shadow side starts, that we have to like create a shadow side. Some of us are taught as children that we should be quiet, timid, yeah, and rational, and therefore view these as traits that should be buried. Modern shadow work refers to discovering these shadow traits, because, like I said, there can also be positive traits of a shadow work. Forgiving ourselves for for those experiences, yeah, healing from past trauma that may have caused them to pop up, and processing them in order to grow. We need to do our shadow work so that we can grow, expand, and become a better person in tune with your higher self, so that you can trust your higher self. We tend to see shadow traits in other people very easily. Everybody does that. But when it comes to our own shadow side, it takes a little introspection, because we don't really want to give in, like, okay, what is our own shadow side? We don't see that as easily as we see that in other people. Shadow traits that your shadow side might possess include like anger, envious, jealousy, you're manipulative, selfish, self centered, exploitative, arrogant, egoistical, obsessed with appearance, um, how other people see you, you're obsessed with that. Dependent on praise, you want people to praise you constantly. Intolerant, judgmental, defensive, overly competitive, and stubborn. Those are traits. And if I may speak for myself, I had to work on my shadow side that had to do with being very defensive, sometimes anger, and sometimes very intolerant. When I was a young child, I always used to say to people that were looking at me, "What are you looking at?" And I did not even stand still to ask myself why they are looking. Maybe it's something positive. Maybe they think you're a beautiful child. But because I was in like my shadow side, and my shadow side constantly was like very defensive without knowing why, when I got older as an adult, I really needed to work on that. So it is very, 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 very important. I cannot say it enough. You know, shadow work is basically a deep dive, usually through meditation or journaling. So you're gonna dive deep into what makes you you, what makes you tick, and why you want to know. Yeah. During our childhood, our shadow self usually begins to develop. When we are susceptible to soaking up attitudes and energy of our environment, as well as experiences like trauma that we're not yet equipped to deal with. So that's when most of our shadow side pops up. Shadow work can be really, really uncomfortable. Trust me, I know it. It is uncomfortable, but we have to do it. We have to do it. You have to be like vulnerable and super honest with yourself. And for most people, that can be very uncomfortable. Um, it doesn't always feel good. Yeah, so shadow works is not always a practice that will make you feel good. But after you've done your shadow work, you're gonna feel better because it's gonna help you a lot, and especially with the mind. It's gonna help you open your heart chakra more. It's gonna help you heal from certain blockages that you have. It's gonna help you understand situations, experiences better. And it's gonna help you embrace yourself. So, part of forgiving is also a part of a shadow work. Yeah, that is also very important. Forgiving your parents, forgiving your environment, the toxic upbringing that you maybe had as a child. Um, your parents, your environment, we are all human, and we have everybody has their own shadow selves. So your parents had their shadow selves too. So that's why I keep on saying that working and practicing shadow work is extremely important. And I think That's my perception, that there are not enough people in the spiritual community talking about the shadow work and what you can do and how the experience is going to be, and why it is important to start doing your shadow work from the start, from the beginning, that you want to go on your spiritual journey, on your journey to become a better you, on your journey to know thyself. So you need that shadow work. I have like 5 shadow work journal processes, straightforward. 1. What was one time you remembered feeling wronged as a child? How did you react? How did you feel? Has this affected you into your adulthood, and how? Number 2, think about the time where you felt betrayed, and betrayed, by a person you trusted. What would you say to the person who broke your trust? Number 3, write about the time you felt let down by someone you previously looked up to. Number 4, what is one trait you see in other people that you wish you had? Why do you not possess this characteristic yourself? Number 5, do you often find yourself overthinking what you said or how you said it and how you acted? What usually triggers this in you? There are like over 100 questions that you can ask yourself when you are doing your shadow work, so that you can practice a shadow work. So there are a lot of them. We are all different, so we all have like different questions that we are going to ask ourselves, our inner child. These are the basic ones that you can start with, the basic ones. And then through meditation, you're gonna have more questions, because there are things that are gonna pop up during your meditation that are gonna give you like the path to go further with your shadow work. Because things are gonna come in through your mind that are gonna give you the path to keep on asking different types of questions. Because when you start with these basic questions, you're gonna get answers, and you're gonna get more questions. They are gonna come by themselves, but there are a lot. So you can also look on the internet what type of different questions you can ask yourself. I started with these basic ones, and they helped me a lot. I had to cry. I had some anger, but it helped me very, very, very good to understand the situation that I was in as a child, and to understand the person that I become in adulthood, who I am right now. And that I can just be um, that I can be very proud of myself, that the things that I went through and that formed me. So everybody has like a backpack full of experiences, and these experiences form who you are and who you become as an adult. And not all of the experiences and traumas that we went through as a child, as a teenager, are things that we want to be reminded of. But when you are reminded of, you can process, metabolize, and you can just release the pain that you had inside of you. Because walking around with blockages and stuck emotions, and you're not letting them out, is not helping you. No way. So No one is the same. Like I already said, everybody's different. So everybody has different questions, but these are just the basic ones. Working on one, yeah, working on yourself, like so that you can become a better person. Working on your shadow side will help you love thyself, heal thyself, uplift thyself, trust thyself, thy inner self. And so, when you think like this, that okay, you're going through the shadow work, it's giving you a lot of emotions that you need to release. Think about there is always light at the end of the tunnel. So you're going to a dark night of the soul, yeah, at the moment that you're doing your shadow work, but think like at the end of the tunnel there is that light, there is that light, there is that love and joy that you're gonna have, because then you find yourself again. So you can become a better you and get in tune with your higher self by going through the dark night of the soul, by going through your shadow work. Thank you for watching and have a peaceful and blissful day. And if there is interest for another video about shadow work, about what type of other questions there can be asked so that you can practice your shadow work, leave it in the comment section. Thank you for watching. Have a peaceful and blissful day.